Hey, Alchemist. Welcome to or welcome back to Arcane Alchemy. If you're new here, I am the mystical medium on this channel. I co-create with Source and your higher self to bring you all of the practical tools for divine soul alchemy. These tools and also messages are things that I have utilized in my own journey that have really catalyzed my ability to heal myself and to remember my multidimensional magic as a divine creative being. So, my hope with this channel is that through me sharing these, you also will be able to remember and awaken to more of who you truly are and start throwing off all of those projections, those expectations, those limitations that have been placed on you from the time that you were small by society, your parents, your peers, and even yourself. To really start being able to hone and identify where you've been limiting yourself, where you've been holding yourself back. Because you came to create, you came to play, you came to understand different dimensions, different realities in whole new ways. And today we're going to be talking about our biggest mirrors, the biggest teachers that we have in this plane of existence. And that's relationships. Relationships are so, so important. Without them, we would have no understanding of who we are individually, but also collectively. We would have no way of contrasting, of growing, of seeing, okay, that didn't feel good. Where am I not loving myself? Where am I refusing to hold myself in such high regard that I respect myself enough to hold this boundary with this other person? Why do I feel like their opinion of me matters more than my opinion of myself? Because, see, that's ultimately what our relationships are doing. They're reflecting back to us all of the areas that we need to rebalance and heal within ourselves. All of those areas where we have taken on projections, where we have bought into other people's limiting beliefs. Start stripping back all of those layers and start to identify, okay, that may have served me at one point. That may have kept me feeling safe, but it's not safe for me to show up in that way anymore. It's holding me back. Because the truth is, you are safe right here, right now, in and of yourself. You are enough. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are handsome. You are lovable. It's time to start redefining your relationship with yourself. So guess what? Then as a result, you get to mirror and pull in new experiences in relationships. If you've had a lot of relationships that have been really, really difficult, carrying a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, I was there too, my friend. For 7 years, I cycled through. I was a serial relationship hopper. I didn't know how to be on my own. I was addicted to attention because I wasn't allowed to have it when I was younger. Not from like a romantic connection. In my household, we grew up with the intention of you court to marry. I didn't have a first relationship until I was 20 years old. I didn't have sex for the first time until I was almost 21. And so because of that, I literally catalyzed myself into this whole other end of the spectrum. Once I dipped my toe in, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to experiment with everything now. And I became addicted to the attention. I started to understand people found me attractive. And I was like, huh, okay. And I was a lot more femme presenting at the time. I didn't know that I was non-binary then. I didn't even know that that was a thing. I just knew that if I acted in this way, if I dressed in this way, it got me this type of attention and people liked it. And so I'm just going to keep doing that. And now I never would have admitted to that in the moment. I never would have admitted that I was masking my true authentic self or that I was even addicted to attention. But I would spend hours on the apps swiping, just because I loved seeing 600 plus matches. Stroked my ego in all the wrong ways. And I kept attracting partner after partner after partner that was mirroring back to me, hey, these are the areas that you need to rebalance. These are the areas that you need to heal. You're putting out this need for external validation. And guess what? You're attracting the types of partners that are going to stroke that part of your ego in order to use you for a time. So think about where you've been doing that in your own life. You might not be, you might not have the need for external validation the way I did. Like, I was literally seriously highly addicted to it. Like, I couldn't be on my own after that. Like, I would get out of one relationship. My relationships generally only lasted like a couple months tops, because I would start to see and identify the toxic patterns. But instead of doing the internal work, when I got out of that relationship, I would just hop right into another one, because the love bombing would start. And I would become infatuated, and they would be infatuated with me. And it was this codependency. It was this mirror of our toxicities, of those parts of ourselves that we were stifling, that we were suppressing. And I don't blame any single one of those people that I've been in a relationship with, even the ones that physically hurt me. I needed those heavy pressure moments to wake me up, to help me see this is not the way that relationships are supposed to function. This is not the way it's supposed to work. And I realized that I was the common denominator in all of those relationships. I had been playing the victim. I had been saying, well, they did this to me, and well, they abused me in this way, and they stole from me, and they took from me, and blah, blah, blah. Refusing to take accountability for the part that I played in my own suffering. And so literally at the end of this 7-year cycle, I didn't know it was this 7-year cycle at the time, but that's what I can look back on it now and identify it as. After a relationship that ended in physical abuse, it really woke me up. I took a big step back, and I said, you know what? I need to take a full year off, because there are parts of me that I need to fix, that I need to heal, that I need to identify. Because something I'm broadcasting, because I knew a little bit about energy then, not to the extent that I did now. And I was somewhat on my healing path. I was starting to explore, and I was starting to get curious. And I knew that there was something in me that I was putting out into the world that was attracting these types of relationships. I didn't have the verbiage for it. I didn't understand the law of attraction. I didn't know any of that. But I decided to step up and take accountability. And I also started to step back. That's when I realized, oh, I have this need for external validation. That's interesting. Where does that come from? I started deep diving into it. I started journaling every day. I started meditating on it. I started really working with myself. And in the first couple of months, I got tested by the universe. Are you going to hold your boundaries of what you said, that you're not going to be in a relationship for another year? I ended up going on a relationship with this girl who really, I was like, okay, right. Yes, I need to focus on myself. This is not going to end well. It was another one of those defining moments for me. And take a look at where in your life that has happened for you, where you've had those defining moments that have really woken you up and really made you take a step back and evaluate. And then also think, where do you need to do that right now? What is your higher self? What has your external world been mirroring back to you? All of those areas that are uncomfortable, that are painful, especially in relationships, everything ultimately stems back to ourselves. So when we take accountability, when we start showing up in our authenticity, when we start speaking our truth, when we start holding our boundaries, there's going to be a period of time that's going to be really difficult and really uncomfortable, because you are bridging a gap between who you were and who you actually are. all of the masks that you've been wearing and everything, that's created this environment that you're in right now. And in order to shift out of that, there's going to be a phase where you're going to be tested by people. The universe is going to bring you tests to see how much you're willing to do to hold the resonance of the version of you that you said you want to be. So if you get out of that toxic relationship and somebody else magically shows up right away, and they're giving you all this attention, they're saying all the right things, and you feel this intense connection with them, pause. Because I promise that is another codependent mirror relationship intended to teach you about yourself. And I can speak to this because I've gone through it and I've seen other people go through it again and again. It's the same thing every time. If you feel that instant connection with somebody where it's like this like intense and passionate, lustful, and they seem to know and get you on like this whole deep level, if you're able to take a step back and they give you the space that you need to do that and they respect you in that, then you know that it is a healthy relationship. However, if they do not, you know that is a codependent relationship. That is a mirror relationship. And now all relationships are mirrors, but when I say mirror relationship, I'm generally meaning the more heavy contrasted relationships. Because guess what? As you do grow and as you heal and as you reopen your heart with boundaries, you understand that empathy without boundaries is self-destruction, and you are your first priority. What you need should always be first. As you hold true to that, you will start to attract new people that respect your boundaries, that want you to speak up about them and hold them. They will never question or make you feel bad about them. They will respect and love you for your uniqueness, for your magic. You won't have to mask in front of them. There will be this level of comfortability, of familiarity. Like you can take a deep breath for the first time and relax into their presence. But to get to that point, a lot of us, we really need to take the time to be by ourselves so we can identify what our own energy is and how we want to start showing up, what is actually authentic for us. So this is how you redefine your relationships in your life, by really taking stock, taking a step back and seeing, okay, when I entered this relationship with this person, what state of consciousness was I operating out of in that moment? Was I in a state of codependency? Was I in a state of desperation? Did I desperately want to be loved, seen, understood? Because see, if you can pour all of that into yourself and you can start understanding, loving, and respecting yourself, everything changes. You start to not care about what other people think anymore. It doesn't matter what other people's opinions of you are. You don't even need love or validation from other people. Sure, it's nice when it comes, but you don't become attached to it. It's not a necessity anymore. And that's how you know that you're really, really, truly on the right path, that you're doing some deep healing and it's integrating, that you're becoming integrated in the state of your relationship with yourself. Your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship of your life because everything else mirrors back all of the areas where you're out of balance. Every other relationship that you will have and have had. So really take time, meditate on this, journal on this, ask good questions, get very curious about how you've been showing up in your life thus far and the ways that your relationships, like look for the patterns in your past relationships. Okay, with this person, this is what happened. And this person, this is what happened. Okay, there's a connection there. Like for me, it was the need for external validation, the addiction to attention. So I can't tell you what it's going to be for you, but it could definitely be one of those things if you're here on this channel, because I carry activation codes for specific healing frequencies, for specific remembrances of magic to catalyze you along your journey of self-healing. So you don't have to stay in a 7-year cycle. Maybe now, you've only been, maybe you're in your early 20s or even late teens, and you can learn these lessons without having to go through all of the crazy, heavy experiences of contrast. Focus on your relationship with yourself. Redefine your relationship with yourself. And if you struggle to love yourself, there are so many amazing free resources out there. This is something you have to cultivate every day. Start looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, I love you, self. Give yourself a hug. This has been a profoundly impactful practice for myself because I'm a solo international traveler. I'm a nomad. I don't have like a specific home base, and I'm generally by myself. So I don't get physical affection a lot, and I love hugs. So I'll hug myself every day, and I'll rub my shoulders, and I'll tell myself, I love you, self. You're doing so good. Thank you for all you do for me. Keep going. You're doing amazing things. And I speak to myself like this. Keep healing. Keep showing up. I'm so proud of you. Even if it feels like a lie at first, speak these things aloud. Write them down. Put them on your mirror. And as you speak them, don't just say the words. Feel the frequency. Smile at yourself. Be like, I love you. Get goofy with yourself. Treat yourself like you would treat someone that you love. You have to be with yourself forever. So why not be best friends? Why not redefine the relationship? If you found this content helpful, please share the video with someone that you feel like could also use this message, because relationships are literally everything in this experience. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you around. Until next time, my friend, be the magic.